Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. At Tenergy, we offer a wide variety of battery packs that can be used in many different applications, such as RC cars, drones, airsoft guns, and many more. Today we'll be going over some of the basics of battery packs to hopefully give you some needed information in order to decide which battery pack is right for you. Here are a few of the most important characteristics of battery packs to consider when purchasing your first battery pack or trying to find a replacement for your current battery pack. First, we'll talk about the different types of chemistries. At Tenergy, we have 5 main different types of chemistries of our battery packs. There are lithium ion, nickel metal hydride, nickel metal cadmium, lithium polymer, and lithium iron phosphate. And here are a list of some of the abbreviations that are used to describe each chemistry or how it can be written on a battery pack. If you're replacing a battery pack, we typically recommend customers to purchase the same chemistry as their old battery pack. When choosing a battery pack, it's very important to pick a pack with the correct voltage. Using a battery pack with the incorrect voltage can damage the device or the battery itself. And the easiest way to check the required voltage is to reference the old battery pack and use the same voltage. But if this is your first time buying a battery pack for your device and there isn't an old battery to reference, sometimes the required voltage is printed on the device, or else you could just look it up online or contact the manufacturer of the device. The output or discharge rate is another important aspect to consider when purchasing a battery pack. The output is measured in amps, or A for short, or MA for milliamps. And this shows how much current the battery is able to provide to the device. And depending on which device the battery pack will be powering, this value can have an effect on its performance. If your device runs on 1 amp or less, the output won't have much of an effect on its performance, and it doesn't need to be taken into consideration. However, for high-power devices such as large Bluetooth speakers or other devices that rely on high power for the performance, like airsoft guns, you'll need to make sure the battery pack has an output that is high enough for the device in order for it to function properly. And the output can usually be found on the webpage for the battery pack. It's usually labeled as the max continuous discharge current, the max output, and also the C rating will give an indication to the output as well, where a higher C rating will equate to a higher output. And you can check out this video up here for more information if you want to learn more about C rating. And one last crucial specification of battery packs is the dimensions. You'll need to make sure it will actually fit into your device when you purchase the battery pack. It isn't uncommon for a device to have a battery compartment that is designed for a specific battery pack size. So be sure to double check that the battery pack you're purchasing will fit into the compartment. You can do this by either measuring your old battery pack, finding the measurements for the battery pack online, or just measuring the battery compartment itself. Next, we'll go over a couple secondary specifications that are still important but aren't as crucial. First, the capacity of the battery pack is the number seen before the mAh or AH printed on the battery pack. The capacity equates to the runtime of the battery, so the higher the capacity, the longer the battery will be able to power your device in between charges. And there typically isn't any requirements for capacity in order to run your device. However, a higher capacity battery will typically be larger in size, so it's again to always double check to make sure that the battery pack will actually fit into your device. For example, if your device requires 8.4 volts to operate, we would have the ability to choose between these 2 battery packs here. They're both 8.4 volts, 2 nickel metal hydride battery packs, but they have different capacities. So this one has capacity of 1600 milliamp hours. This has capacity of 3800 milliamp hours. This battery pack with the 3800 milliamp hours will be able to power your device for about twice as long as this one, but this one's obviously much larger and it may not be able to fit into a device that you were previously using this battery pack for. So again, just make sure you double check the dimensions of your battery pack before you purchase it. The last specification we wanted to talk about is the connector. The connector is this little plastic piece on the end of your 2 leads here. This one, for example, is the mini Tamiya. We have multiple different other types of connectors, such as standard Tamiya, JST, high-tech, and other ones. It's important to make sure your battery pack has the correct connector in order to connect properly with your device. And lastly, we wanted to walk through how to find a battery pack on our website. So first we'll go to our website, power.tenergy.com, and here's what the homepage looks like. To find all of our battery packs, click on the Battery Packs drop-down menu here to see all the different types of battery packs. As you can see, everything is grouped by the 5 main chemistries, like we were talking about before, of each of the different types of battery packs. And if you scroll down a little bit here, you can see some of the common applications for the battery packs, as well as the compatible pack chargers and other accessories. So let's say we're looking to replace a 9.6 volt nickel monohydride battery pack. We can either click on the NIMH/NICD button here, or we can go right to the 9.6 by clicking here. There are still quite a few options here with these specifications, so to narrow down the results even more, we can choose the desired capacity. Our previous battery pack had a capacity of 1600 milliamp hours, so we'll click on that to narrow down the results to these 3 battery packs. And these 3 look quite different, so we'll need to compare the shape and dimensions of the old battery pack in order to find a compatible battery pack. And right away I recognize this battery pack with the long shape of single row batteries. And we can see this is mainly used for airsoft, which is the same applications I'll be using it for. And the chemistry is nickel monohydride with a voltage of 9.6 volts and a capacity of 1600 milliamp hours. So this battery pack will work for my application that I'll be using it for. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see some more information on the battery and its application. Down here, you'll see more of the specifications on the battery pack. You can see it has a max discharge rate of 10 C, which is the same C reading as my previous battery pack. This section also gives us the dimensions of the battery pack, which can be compared to the previous battery, and the connector type is also specified here as the mini Tamiya connector. If you need any other specifications, you can always reach out to the Tenergy support team for an additional assistance. And that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, please comment them down below, and we'll see you next week for the next video.